where to go to look for clients, or perhaps you just don't think that you can do what we call sales. If that's so, this live is for you. This episode is for you. I'm going to talk to you about how successful consultants sell with ease. I'm not talking about those people who plan like they making money and doing stuff. I'm going to talk to you about what successful consultants do and how they are able to sell with ease. So if you're with me live, give me a hey, what's up, what's going on? If you're catching this in the replay, give me a hashtag replay. Y'all talk to me in the chat and I can answer some of your questions for you. So we're also going to talk about how to win your first contract. A lot of times we stop ourselves from winning our first contract because we have all of these things built up in our head about what it means to sell, what it looks like, and all these things. But the truth of the matter is you're either going to be a producer or a consumer. Hey, strategy lady. Hey, abundant fruit, Claudisha. Hey. What's going on? I hope everything is going well for you. And you know, every now and then we have to tap back in to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. So today we're talking about selling. A lot of women, especially educators, have this block up in their head that I don't know how to sell. The same way we say, I don't know how to negotiate. The same reasons why we don't negotiate our contracts. The same reason why we don't charge full price. The same reason why we don't do the things we need to do is because of some of the mind trash that's in our heads, but also it's because we don't know the process that we should be using. Many times, if we can understand what the process is, we can do the thing. But because we don't know the process, we don't have a process, we get scared, we step back in fear, we begin to doubt ourselves, and we begin to talk ourselves out of it. So today we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to get right into it. So first, we're going to talk about the sales process simplified so that you can get an understanding of that. And then once we go through the sales process simplified, then I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that may be running through your head that's maybe stopping you from doing the thing that you need to do, because I can almost guarantee 90% of you, your first contract is already in your contacts. Let me say that again. Your first contract is in your contacts. The problem is you haven't let the people know what you're doing. You have not told them how they can work with you, and or you have not told them they need to pay for your services, because many of us are doing the work and we're doing it for free. But we're going to talk about it. So let's get into the sales process simplified. So the first thing I want you to know is that initial contact matters. Like many of us, first of all, we don't even make the initial contact. Dr. D, what are you talking about, an initial contact? We have to make an initial contact. So let me break it down for you. A lot of us, we've been in the school system for 10, 15, 20, 25 years. This is how people know us. People still to this day know me as Dr. D, the principal. They know me as Dr. D, the educator. They know me as Dr. D, the teacher. Some people even know me as Dr. D, the English teacher, okay? When I see students who were my students 20 years ago, they'll be like, that's my English teacher. Well, I was your English teacher back then, but I've exited that field and I've been gone out of it for quite some time now. So I want you to understand that people are going to remember you the way they met you. So just like people who meet me when I go with my husband to a business dinner, they know me as Jimmy's wife. It don't matter what I'm doing. They know me as Jimmy's wife. Unless I tell them another way to know me or introduce myself as something other than Jimmy's wife or in addition to Jimmy's wife, they only know me as Jimmy's wife. I want you to think about this. Those of you who have older siblings, you may be known as so-and-so's little sister, or you may be known as Big John's daughter. That's how they know you. What are you going to do to change that narrative? So we got to talk about that initial contact. You want to make sure that you're making a good first impression. You're acknowledging how they formerly knew you and how you want them to know you from this point forward. So a part of that, and I tell everybody, I'm telling you, I'm giving you real gems here. This is real stuff that people pay for. So if you don't have a pencil and paper and you know that you have a hard time talking about sales, getting sales, initiating sales, following up with sales, this is the session for you, and you need to write this down, because what I'm telling you, this works. This works for the women in my mastermind, for all of the women that I work with. For the people that I know, this works for me. This is the stuff that I do to bring in contracts in my business. I do contracts in school systems. I do contracts in the federal government. I do contracts in private organizations. I do one-to-one contracts. I listen here. This stuff works in community-based organizations. So I'm telling you, these things work. It's not something different. It's the same thing. So the first thing you want to do, you got to reintroduce yourself to people. I tell people all the time, send out a message to everybody in your phone. Stop picking and choosing who you are going to send the message to. Stop going through your phone and saying, I'm going to send it to her and her. Was she a teacher? I'm going to send it to her. That's not what I'm telling you to do. Abundant Fruit says, you're dropping gems. I'm refreshing for sure. Thanks for sharing. And yes, I am writing. Yes. And this is about the time, Claudisha, that you should be redoing the things that you've done, because it's probably been a year or two for you. And so now you got to go back and remind the people, because now they've forgotten about it. So even me, I took some time this week and sent out some text messages, just reminding people and getting back on their radar, because I had been off of their radar for a little while. So don't pick and choose who you're going to send the text message to. We have a phone. Look in your phone and see how many contacts you have. Some of us got 300 contacts. Some of us got 500 contacts. Some of us have 900 contacts, baby. I looked at my sister's phone. My sister had 1,061 contacts. I was like, girl, what are you doing? She ain't even got no business, okay? She had 1,061 contacts. So it used to be a point when I was doing it fresh, I could do send to all contacts, but I don't see that button anymore to be able to send to all contacts. But that would be ideal. We got to stop picking and choosing. So we got to make an initial contact to let people know, hey, I normally say, hey, fam. I call everybody family. If you're in my phone, we have some type of relationship. So I just say, hey, fam, and stop with all of this business, uppity and trying to be politically correct. Speak the way you speak. Talk the way you talk. It should be conversational. It should be conversational. Like they should be reading it in your voice. They shouldn't be reading it like they're at a corporate event. Because again, people work with people that they like. I'm just going to keep saying that. And so when you send it, like when I send mine, I say, hey, fam, just want to remind you that I'm still, my business is still going. I'm serving teachers in a different way. I'm working with educators in a different way. Here's a link to my website. I'd love if you can refer some clients to me. Or is there someone that you think I need to be introduced to? A lot of times they know somebody you need to be introduced to. The problem is you are picking and choosing who to send the message to, trying to make the decision for them, when many times the person who's going to make the introduction for you is not the person who you think. See, those people who you think, oh, she's a professor over at the college, let me send it to her. She's not about to make no introduction for you because she's worried about her own tail and she's scared that you're going to do something that's going to mess up her good job. But let me tell y'all something. Them folks that work them regular jobs, they all know people and they love to talk about people who are doing something. And I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with a regular job. But like one of my first introductions came from a cousin who works in a factory, and he was having a conversation with somebody else in the factory. I'm telling you, they love to brag on your good work. And he was like, yeah, my cousin, she got her own education company. You should meet her. And he introduced me to him. We talked and he had another person. So it was a three-way connection. My cousin who worked at the factory introduced me to his colleague who worked at the factory, who then introduced me to someone else in the school system. So my point to you is, it's not the people who you think that are going to introduce you, but why do you think that you get to have a say so? The second thing that I'm going to tell you why selling is hard for you and why it comes off as salesy is because you have not crafted or practiced your elevator pitch. First of all, ain't nobody got time to stand there and listen to you for 2-3 minutes trying to tell somebody what you do or how you serve. You need to get that together. And you should be able to clearly state what it is you do and the value that you provide in less than 30 seconds. And 30 seconds is really too much. It's really too much. Right now, at this moment, in your head, say what it is you do. When you meet somebody, the first thing they say, hey, my name is Tom. And then you say, hi, my name is so-and-so. And then they say, oh, what do you do? What are you going to respond? Don't nobody want to hear that. Oh, well, I started my own business. I'm an educational consultant. Most people don't even know what an educational consultant is. So I need us to stop saying that. I'm telling you, I'm giving you real gems here. This is why selling is hard for you, because you're coming off as a salesperson. No one wants to deal with a salesperson, but people like to deal with real people. People like to deal with real people. If you strip away the titles and all that, people like to talk to people. So what is it that you do? I help educators who are ready to leave the school system exit the school system. And then when, like they act, if they say so, I help teachers, mainly women, leave the school system and make more money. Plain and simple. What's hard about that? Ain't no fancy language, ain't no convolution. I help parents who have a student that has special needs get the services that they need. You see how simple that is? We convolute everything because we call ourselves educated. And I need us to stop doing that. Like, I need us to stop doing that. We're talking to regular people, and we need to be regular people, and we need to be able to clearly communicate really quick. And that's what they call your elevator pitch. But it needs to be clear, it needs to be concise, and it needs to be really short. It should be less than 30 seconds. You heard what I do. I help teachers leave the classroom and make more money, period. Then they can follow up and say, oh, how do you do that? I teach them how to monetize their skills and start an educational consulting business, period. That's it. See how I'm not going into no extra stuff? But some of y'all, oh, I'm an educational consultant, and I help teachers who don't know how to keep their classroom together. And and nobody has time for that. Nobody has time for that. Okay, nobody has time for that. When I'm working in the school system and they want to know, I'm talking to somebody and they want to know what is it that I do. I help leaders. I help leaders. I don't say school leaders because I help anybody who's in a leadership role be the same person that they are on Saturday and Sunday, Monday through Friday. People know exactly what I'm talking about. They know that the leader shows up on Monday through Friday one way, and then on Saturday and Sunday, they are a totally different person. They laugh and jolly, having a good time. And then on Monday through Friday, they stuck up, all mean and evil. And no, I help leaders be the same way on Monday through Friday as they are on Saturday and Sunday. Period. Point blank. That's it. And then they'll say, oh, how do you do that? I help them have clarity, confidence, and control. They're able to communicate, control their emotions, and be clear about their vision and mission. Period. That's it. What's your elevator speech? How are you letting people know what you do? How long does it take? See, you can't sell if nobody is interested in what you have to say. Don't nobody want to hear you keep on talking and rambling and carrying on. It's too much. It's too much. And it sounds like you don't know what you're doing. So now you've already interfered in the sales process. Your product will sell itself. Once you tell people what it is that you do, they're already thinking about how they can use you. How they can use you. And then the next thing, this is one that really kind of stresses me out for people. People will start talking to you about how they can use your services. We're talking about how consultants sell with ease. This is how they sell with ease. I'm giving you the steps. And it's going to go right over some people's head. I can't do nothing for you. I'm trying to give it to you and help you to understand. So you'll tell people what it is you do. You got your elevator pitch down. You're confident. You know that you're good at what you do. And you tell the person what it is that you do. I help teachers leave the classroom and make more money. And then they say, oh my goodness, my sister is a teacher and she's always complaining about money. And so I'm gonna connect you with her. Oh, I would love it. I would absolutely love it. Can I get her name, email, connect? And sometimes I help them with the connection. I'll send them an email. Well, then my next step, instead of just talking to her in a chit chat, hey, how you doing? I'm sending a link for a discovery call, a strategy session. Book a time, and I let them know I want you to book a time so that I can give you my undivided attention. That's taking me out of the key land into the we're talking business now. So now I'm getting you on the call, and you got to know how to conduct the call. Some of y'all get on the calls and you're doing more talking than the person. They calling you to get help, and you doing too much. Like, you just have to know that when the call comes, you got to have your script. Do you have a script? That's where part of the problem comes in. And that's what makes selling hard, because instead of you seeing what their problem is, the first thing you can say is, they've set up a time with you. Notice they came on your calendar and set up the time with you. Look at Claudia. She said guilty. See, this is what I'm saying. We make selling hard. And then we say, oh, I ain't good at sales. No, you won't use the process. You are doing too much. So when they book on your calendar, that means they want your services. That means that you have something that they need. What was hard about that? That ain't been hard yet. So now when the time comes for you to call them or for the Zoom call to start, I don't know why I'm looking so fuzzy on YouTube. Let me see if I can't fix that a little bit. I don't know. It's a little fuzzy to me. So so when the time comes for the call, you're going to call the person and you're going to say, let's say it's Claudisha, and you're going to say, hi, may I speak to Claudisha? And she's going to say, this is Claudisha. And I'm going to say, okay, this is Dr. D calling for our scheduled call. I'm reminding you, you scheduled this call with me. Calling for this scheduled call is now still a good time. I always want to be respectful because I know that sometimes we can schedule things and then things happen. And so I always want to be respectful and ask, is now still a good time? So if something is happening, they have an opportunity to back out of the call. I always like to give people an out because I don't want you trying to talk to me while you in the McDonald's line trying to order some food. You can say, well, the kids are in the car with me, and so I need to do it later. And I'll say, okay, well, just go back on the link and reschedule. I have some more openings. I'd love to speak with you, but I understand that things come up. Hey, Kara Cozy, hey. And so once I say, is now still a good time, most times they will say, yes, it absolutely is. I was excited to talk to you. I've been waiting on this call, whatever they're going to say. And then I'll say, awesome. I'm so happy to be able to speak to you. So tell me what made you reach out. So then that takes them into the conversation. That's them talking. See, we get confused and we think that if we do the talking, we're leading the call. The person who is asking the questions is the person who's leading the call. So they're going to start telling me, well, I wanted to learn more about so-and-so and so-and-so. Or they're going to tell me, I've been a principal this is my first year as a principal. I'm having some hard times. My staff is talking crazy, And they're going. And all I'm doing is listening intently and I'm writing to get to what their problem is because they are giving you a lot more than what you need. And that's good. But then you got to know what your next question is. So my next question, when I'm talking to principals and educators, my next question is always, okay, so I understand your problem is XYZ. So tell me, what have you tried to remedy this problem? And so then they'll start telling me, I read this book. I went to this seminar. I have a mentor at school. The other principal is my mentor. We also got a coach, boo, boo, boo. So they're giving me the things that they've done to work to remedy the problem that they are currently experiencing. And then your response, your solution is your program or your product. It's not for you to start telling the story about how you remember when you was in the school system, you had that problem and you was able to overcome it. And that's not what you're doing. They told you what the problem is. They've told you what it is they've tried. Now you know that your program, package, service, whatever you offer is the solution to that program. So you're going to say, oh, that sounds very aligned with the work that we do. And then you give a quick synopsis of what it is you do, not the features of your program. Again, we're not talking about the features of your program. A lot of us, we go into, well, I got a program where you can do 3 PDs and you can do this. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the result. We're talking about the result. I've worked with many leaders and I help them to get clear on their vision and mission for themselves, as well as that one as well as for the school. I also help them to be able to communicate clearly, and that miscommunication, people misinterpreting your words, will no longer be happening. You'll be able to have your staff meeting, say what you need to say, and the things not be taken out of context. And you will also you'll learn strategies to control your emotions, allowing you to be able to communicate clearly, as well as to receive feedback and not always feel like the people are attacking you, even if they are. Does that sound like something that will work for you? See how that's different than saying, I'm going to do 6 PDs and I'm going to talk to you 32 times and I'm going to walk around the block 7 times. You don't have to do all that. You want to talk about the result that you're going to get them to. And then when they say, yes, that sounds like what I need. Yeah, so you need to get into my principal coaching program. And then I let them know what it, like what it is, and we work to get you signed up. But then you got to ask for the sale. Like, this is the part where y'all get stuck at on the discovery call. If you know your product or your program is the thing that they need, then you got to tell them that this is what you need. Let's get you signed up. It's that simple. You agree? You want them to say yes. So you want them to say, when you tell them what it is, the result that you can get, and they say, that sounds good. You ask them, does it sound like it will work for you? Write these words down. Does this sound like it will work for you? I'm trying to give you verbiage. You can tweak it for however you speak or whatever the way you use language. That's how I use language. Does this sound like it will work for you? When they say yes, that's a good thing. The yes is good. Then your next segment is, okay, so let's get you signed up. Now, here's the problem. They're going to only have a couple of objections. It's either going to be time or money, or they don't feel like they're ready. So when they say that, you don't get to just say, hey, Tonisha, hey. You don't get to just say, oh, okay, well, check back when you're ready. No, they're ready now, but they are not accustomed to making decisions to move themselves forward. So when they say, I'm not ready right now, may I ask what's standing in the way? What has kept you from doing this before now? And a lot of times the same thing that's kept them from doing it before now is the same thing that kept them that's keeping them from doing it now. She said, forgot I'm going to YB. I don't know what YB is. What's YB? I don't know, Tonisha. I don't know what that is. So you have to overcome the objections. You got to be able to talk about the objections. And we're not going to sit there and pressure them. But a lot of times people just need an understanding. They need to see it from a different lens. Okay, so now you've done the discovery call. And a lot of times you will talk to people and they will say, can you send me more information? Oh, YouTube. Yes, girl, go on over to YouTube and get me that view. Some of y'all can go on over to YouTube. Join me on YouTube, and then that'll give me the view and the hours that I need to, at one day, be monetized on YouTube. No day soon, but one day I'll be monetized on YouTube, and I will get paid for giving away all of these free gems, okay? So I'm over on YouTube now. Feel free to go over there because I don't get paid on Instagram. I don't get paid on Facebook. I don't get paid on YouTube, but at least YouTube has made it clear what I need to do to get paid on there. So I'm working to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of viewership, and then I can be monetized. So I'm at about 280 subscribers. I would love some more subscribers. It's Educators Moving On Official on YouTube. So I would love some more subscribers over there. I would love for you all to watch me on YouTube, because then I can be on the road to monetization. Okay, so I'm just letting y'all know. If you want to help me, go on over to YouTube. I'm on there live. I'm simulcasting right now. Okay, so then here's the next thing. Why selling is hard. Let me tell you why it's hard and how to make it easy for yourself. So then you might be out, and I was just in this situation the other day. I was out. I was with my husband. We were talking. We met somebody, and the person said, I'd like to learn more about your business. Can you send me something in email? And I was like, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I got my phone right there, asked him for his email, got his email, and I was able to send him the documents that he needed right there. The problem is a lot of y'all don't know what the documents are to send. You don't have the documents. And if I can be completely honest with you all, and this is no shade, no tea. Thank you for coming over to YouTube. Thank you. This is no shade, no tea. Those documents y'all be sending shows that you're not capable of doing the level of work that they need. When you send documents that look not professional, and you think it's professional because you've been a teacher, but they've been dealing with big companies like Discovery Education, Houghton Mifflin, ASCD, all of these big companies, Ready IXL. And so they have a machine behind them. They have a certain look to their documents. you need that certain look too. You can't have the little kids over in the corner. You can't have the apple and all that stuff. You can't have all of them pictures that ain't like, we don't even know that the things that we're doing are not appropriate because we've never been in this space before. And so we're trying to make stuff up as we go when you can get help and do it the right way. Why would I give you a 6-figure contract when you gave me a proposal, when you gave me a deck that looked like a 3rd grade made it? Subscribe. Thank you. Thank you. So I want us to understand we make it hard because when your stuff looks good, when it's succinct, when it's to the point, when they can look at it and say, oh yeah, this is what we need. Yeah, let's get her on the phone. Let's go ahead and make the call. Isn't it much easier when people are calling you for your services as opposed to when you're calling people to try to sell your services? That's the part that makes it hard, folks. That's the part that makes it hard. So we got to make sure that we're doing the things. And then the next thing is why, like, I want to know this. Are you looking for clients? Are you looking for clients and how? We say, oh, okay. She said, it's a strategy lady. Thank you for coming over to YouTube. Thank you. So we say that we're looking for clients, but where are we looking for the clients at? And how are we looking for them? Can you tell me that? And the next question you got to ask yourself is anybody looking for you? Like, people should be looking for you. And if they're not, you should be asking yourself, why are people not looking for me? I can tell you why people are not looking for you and why selling is hard for you is 2 reasons. A, you're not showing up. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you do. They don't know how to contact you. But Claudia says, yes, I want them calling me. Absolutely. Let's get them calling you. You know how you get them to call you? You show up. You got to show up. You got to show your expertise. You got to serve. They got to know, oh, she got the answer to my problem. Let me book a call with her. Let me do a consultation with her. Let me do a strategy session with her. Let me see if she's available for the beginning of the year. Let me see if we can get her in here in this August PD. But you ain't showed up. First of all, you ain't showed up. You ain't showed your expertise. You just want somebody to take your word for it that this is what you're good at. And showing up don't mean that you got to go to their school and do a PD. You have to show up. You can do virtual events online. You can do, social media is amazing. It allows you to talk to people that you've never been able to talk to in places that you have never visited and probably will never be. But it allows you to share your expertise. It allows you to talk to people. The second part of this, the second part of what I'm saying on that point is that, and anybody who works with me know that I drill this in, I drill it in. Do you have a good lead magnet? How are you pulling in your prospects? How are you letting people know what it is you do? How are you introducing people? How are you introducing people into your business and the work that you do? You need a lead magnet, and not just any old lead magnet. She said, not showing up consistently, and some people are looking in the wrong places. That's right. And that's what we're probably going to talk about tomorrow. I got that written down here. Are you talking to the right clients in the right places? Because some of us are confused about that. But I want you to think about this. Do you have a lead magnet? How often are you dropping it? How often are you sharing it? How often are you giving away the thing that you said will move them to the next step, allow them to take the next step of action that they need? That lead magnet is a way to show your expertise that I can help you move to your next level. If you ain't showing me that you can help me, why would I give you money? Why would I work with you? All you're doing is talking about what you do. People talk a good game all the time. I want to know, can you really do it? The best way to know is to show them, here is a whatever it is, and then I do what you said, and it actually moves me forward. It's a lot of y'all who've been on my calls on these very same, in these same social media streets. I've told you stuff, you tried it, and it worked. I'm proving my expertise to you every single day. Every single day. Nobody's in doubt that Dr. D don't know what she's talking about. With consulting anyway, it's a lot of stuff I don't know what I'm talking about. But baby, when it comes to making money, when it comes to consulting, when it comes to being in community, when it comes to getting over yourself, When it comes to being a high achiever and having to understand you ain't got to do all that. You can opt out. You ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. I'm your girl for that. I'm your girl for that. When it comes to living your dream life, baby, I'm your girl for that. It's a bunch of stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about now. You talking about the weather, child? I don't be knowing what be happening in the weather. You talking about world events, child? I don't know what be happening in other states around the world. I don't be knowing none of that stuff, girl. I don't know none of that. You talking about shows that come on TV? I cannot help you with that. It's a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I show up on social media. I show up. I host events. I do things. This is not just in this realm. When I'm doing school consulting, where y'all think I'm running out school to school? No. I will host an event online for principals. I have a lead magnet. My lead magnet gives them a quiz to help them identify their leadership style. Once they identify their leadership style, then I begin an email series to them that talks to them about that particular leadership style and how to be more effective as that style of leader. Well, now they're realizing, oh, this little lady know what she's talking about. She said, how often should we drop the lead magnet? Multiple times a week, as many times as possible. If you got social media, you should be pulling those people off of your social media into your email list. That does not make sense when we have people, like some of us got 500,000, 10,000 followers, but our email list is only 50. That's crazy. If I got 10,000 followers, my goal is to have all 10,000 of them on my email list. Well, we all know that social media doesn't always, like right now, I got 2,000 people who I talk to on Instagram, but only 10% of them go see this live. Only 10% of them. So you got to drop that lead magnet. You got to go into them DMs and let them know, here's a freebie for you to help you with XYZ. You got to drop it on LinkedIn. You should be dropping that every single day, at least multiple times a week, as you're creating your posts that go on your social media. Make a consistent post, your lead magnet. They need to know what it is and why they need to get it so that they can get on your email list. The lead magnets are necessary. That is how you get prospects. That is how you get potential clients. Will everybody be a client? No. But guess what? You ain't got no prospects right now. At least with the lead magnet, only the people who are interested will raise their hand. Only the people who are interested. Just like with me, I work with educators who are looking to leave the school system. Somebody who love their job, want to stay in the school system for the next 15 years, can't imagine their life without the kids. They would never take a lead magnet from me. Because I'm telling you, come on up out of there, child. We're going to make more money. We still going to use our expertise, and we finna live a good life. We done with that thing that they got over there. We finna do this over here. So I need you to understand the reason why you're having a hard time selling is because you're making it hard. You're not doing the things that need to be done. First of all, you have not alerted all of the people in your life, all of the people in your phone that you're doing a different thing. So they still think you're doing the same old thing. So you're not getting any help. You have a tribe that can help you. Some of y'all don't believe that your tribe will help you. That's not for you to decide. See, like our minds will tell us that ain't nobody gonna help me. They don't ever help me. That's not for you to decide. Get off your high horse. Get off your high horse. What is it gonna hurt you to send them the message? They can just look at it and ignore it. It's not costing them anything. It's not costing you anything but a little bit of time. Then we can't articulate what it is that we do in less than 30 seconds, in less than 20 seconds. We get to babbling, we get to carrying on. We got to stop that. That means you're not an expert. That means you're not an expert at what you do because you can't even say clearly and concisely what it is you do. Then the next thing, once they get interested in your services, you don't know how to take it from that conversation over to business. You need a format for your discovery call, your strategy call, your consultation call, whatever the name is you're giving it. I'm trying to use different names for the different people who use different things. So you need a process. Stop trying to do these things off the top of your head when you know that you talk too much, when you know that you carry on and you like to have the conversation, but it's also business and you also have to have discipline and a time limit. These people don't have a lot of time. So you can't do a 1 hour discovery call. You really can't even do a 30-minute. Once you go past 20 minutes, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Most people can give you 20 minutes of their time, but there are people who get upset when you say, give me 20 minutes and then you take an hour. You need to monitor yourself and discipline yourself. Then you're talking to people and they say, send me more information. You don't know what the information is to send to them. You don't know what to send to them. And the stuff that you send to them is not appropriate. It doesn't look appropriate. It doesn't say the things that it needs to say. It's not clear. It's not concise. It's just not right because you're making it up. You haven't gotten any training. You haven't gotten any support. Then we don't have a lead magnet that is going to pull prospects in. We need that lead magnet. And then we don't show up consistently to show our expertise, to serve the people, to show that we are an expert. How are they supposed to know you're an expert if they've never seen you, they've never heard of you, they don't know what it is you do, but you want them to pay you top dollar, prime dollar for something that they've never seen you do? You got to show up and show up consistently. Consistently doesn't mean every day. It doesn't mean every day. When I first started doing my principal coaching, I showed up one time a week, every week, one time a week. You can go back on my principal coaching page, which was Coaching with Integrity. You can go back. It's still videos of me on there all the way back from 2020. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m., I went live on that page and I shared tips and strategies with leaders of how to communicate, how to have clarity, and how to have control. Those are the only things I talked about on there. If you notice on this page, the only thing I talk about is how to transition out of the classroom, how to live a great life. Those are the only things I talk about. You don't see me coming out here talking about my husband. You don't see me coming out here talking about other. No, I talk about your dream life because that's the way, that's what we're doing with this consulting. We're building these consulting businesses to live our dream life, whatever that life is for you, whatever it means for you. Our vehicle is through consulting, but it's to get to freedom. And the freedom is your dream life. Now you get to create it, but you don't see me coming on here talking about the stuff. Like, it's a lot of stuff that happens around the world. You don't see me on here talking about Israel. You don't see me on here talking about the presidential election. That's not what this is for. That's not what this is for. If I want to talk about that, I can go over to my personal page. I can go to my personal Instagram. I can go to my personal Facebook page, and I can talk to the people on there about that. But over here, this is where I come to share my expertise. This is where I come to serve people who are ready to make a difference in their life. And I come here to show you that it's possible. I'm a good old Black girl from St. Louis. If the Lord can do it for me, he can do it for you. But guess what? You got to take action. And I show up here to show you that. Claudia says, wow, Dr. D, you are so on point. Just made a decision to not work with a vendor for that specific reason. I could not find enough samples of his work to get an understanding of how his expertise is aligned with my company. There it is. So we got to show up. Like, we got to show up, and you don't have to show up every day. I believe it's going to, well, I know it's going to be an abundant April for me. And so I'm showing up every single day. I'm putting my time where I believe and know that I'm gonna reap the benefits. I'm serving people, I'm helping people, I'm giving. The more that I give, the more that I receive. I'm sharing my expertise. I show up consistently. You always can find me somewhere on social media, or you can go back and find other things that I've done on social media. You can go to my website. A lot of people think that because they have a website, that's enough. That's not enough. We're in 2024, and I need you all to step into 2024. We are not going backwards in time. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. You don't get to go backwards. We're in the world of technology. We're in the world of AI. It's time for us to get on board. We've been in the education system, and the education system is the slowest to get on board. By the time they get on board, a new wave has come and begun, and we're just now learning the old wave. Y'all stop doing that. Stop doing that. This is free advertisement. This is a free way to connect with people you would never be able to connect to. You can watch other people on social media, but you won't get on here to show your face because you're scared of what people gonna say. You don't want to make good money then, because I can tell you what, people want you to win until you winning. And you need to have a strong system to be able to take winning, because it's hard on people when you win it. I'm just telling you the truth. People want you to win until you are winning. And then they looking at you crazy. So if you don't want people to look at you crazy, this ain't the realm for you. If you want to be like everybody else, this is not the realm for you. That's why you're not able to sell. And then we got to get these lead magnets out of here. And then we got to show up consistently. Then the last thing that I told you all about, just making sure y'all got all of the steps. Then you got to have strategies for overcoming the objections and closing the contract. So they're going to give you an objection that you're not just supposed to be like, oh, okay, thanks. No, those are the excuses. We make excuses for ourselves not to do the things that we need to do, not to take the action that we need to take. And then a lot of times we will say that we have trust and we have faith, but that we don't, because trust and faith is demonstrated by taking action. Trust and faith is demonstrated by taking action. You do not have faith if you sitting there hoping and praying something's going to happen and you ain't done nothing to make it happen. Because we all know that the Lord ain't coming down to make it happen. Relationships, opportunities, thoughts, downloads, things are going to be sent to you, but you have to take action. So you got to have strategies to overcome those objections, and you got to know how to close that contract. I gave you the verbiage and the terminology for it. Let's get you signed up. And if they say, oh, well, I don't know if I'm ready. Okay, so what's stopping you from making the decision? And they'll tell you, they might say, the price is out of my ballpark. Oh, okay, so tell me what's your budget. We might be able to customize the program for you. You see how that works? So you got to have some strategies to overcome these objections. And that's why selling is hard for you. But I first want to make sure that you know selling becomes easy when people know what it is that you do. People will call you already ready to buy, but you ain't done the things that you need to do. People will call you already knowing this is the person that I'm going to work with. This is who I have selected to solve this problem. You ain't got to do much work. When you get on the call, they just want to know what does the program consist of and what do I need to do to get signed up? Where do I send my payment to? Who do I send? Can you send the invoice? Can you send the proposal? That's when selling becomes easy. When you've done the things. When people call me, I've shown up. They're not getting on a call with me to shoot the breeze. They getting on a call because they're ready to take action. They've hee-hawed long enough. Now they're ready to take action. So they are booking a call, getting on my calendar to speak with me to see, how do I work with you? I don't have to do hard sales. And you don't either. When I'm talking to my principals, I got a principal right now who's already calling me for next school year. Folks, we're in April. He's calling me. I didn't call him. He's calling me. When he sent the message, my text message came up. It said, DeBose, we on for next year? I sent back, good morning. Absolutely. Absolutely. He sent back, send the dates and the invoice. It'll be there in a little bit. That's it. I don't have to chase behind people, because guess what? I showed up and did the work. I'm telling you, you don't have to do the work let me not say you don't have to do the work forever. The work becomes less over time, because then you've built your clientele, you've built a base, you've built referrals. Like right now, I can go back into some of my previous clients and I can say, hey, hope everything is going well. You know, my consulting business is up. We're doing great, but we need to bring in 3 or 4 new clients this school semester. Do you have anyone that you can refer me to? And a lot of times I like to be really specific. Can you give me 3 to 5 names of other leaders who could benefit from my services? A lot of y'all scared to send that email. You done been in school systems, you done worked contracts, and you won't ask the person for 3 to 5 names of people who can use your services. That's all you're asking them for. And then make it easy for them. Send the script to them that they are going to send to make the introduction. Ain't nobody got time to be sitting down writing no introduction for you. Write the introduction. If you're willing to do it, below is a quick email that you can send that will introduce me to the person. All I got to do is cut and paste, put the person's name in, put the email in, copy you on it, and send, as opposed to trying to create an email, write all about you and all this stuff. No, ain't nobody doing that. We're going to send the email. We're going to ask for the introduction. We're going to assume that they're going to say yes. We're going to say below is a template that you can use to quickly introduce me to 3 to 5 principals and CC me on there, and I'll take it from there. Also, PS, any of these contacts that turns into any of these referrals that turns into a contract, you will get a 10% referral bonus. See what I'm saying? So now I'm putting something in it for you. All you got to do is cut and paste, send it to the 3 people, connect me on it. I'll take it from there. And I'm going to send you 10% if I close a contract. She said, yes, repeat clients and referrals from previous clients. I am writing that down. Yes, transformations converts to boss moves. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm giving y'all the tea. When you get your contracts, you better come back and say, Dr. D helped me do this. You better say, Dr. D helped me do this. You better say, April was amazing. Dr. D said it was going to be an abundant April. Dr. D helped me do this. See, I'm here, y'all. I got you. It's enough for you. It's enough for me. It's enough for everybody. It's an abundant April, but you got to do your part. You have to do your part. For those who are ready, you know that you can do this. You know that you got a good product. You know that you have a skill set. People coming to you. They're asking you for your help. They want to work with you. They want to do what it is that you do. They want to do it. But you don't know how to change it over to a sale. You don't have the documents that you need. You don't have the assets built. You're not ready to collect money because you've told yourself that ain't nobody gonna pay for me for this. I don't know if they're gonna take me serious. I don't know. That ain't what we doing. So for those who are ready, that's right. She said, I know that April will be amazing as well. Absolutely. She says, I sure will. She said, Dr. D, what she say? Let me see what she said. She said, Dr. D, this school year has been amazing because of the contract writing that we did 2 years ago. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, this stuff works, but you have to work it. And the payout is so much greater. Like I can make $25,000 in less than 6 months. I can make $45,000. My program is $43,000. So I can get a contract signed. Most times it takes me anywhere from 15 to 30 days to get a contract signed, $43,000. And that contract is over a 6-month time period. Well, I get half of it when I begin the contract, which is around that $22,000 mark. They give me half of that. Well, that allows me to pay a large set of my bills up front. I can pay 6 months house note, 6 months car note. I can put $1,000 on the light bill, $1,000 on the gas bill. I can pay on the sewer bill, and I still got money left over from that $22,000. Let's be honest. How long do it take you in the school system to make $22,000? So it's worth all of the follow-up, all of the follow-through, all of the posting, all of the showing up on social media because I'm making a whole lot more money. For my 6 months of service, I only got to show up 6 times, and I got to make 10 phone calls. You better stop playing with me. Like, I need you to stop sleeping on yourself and be willing to do the work to get the bigger payout. Then when I finish, they're sending me $22,000 more. Well, in between, I'm closing other contracts in between. So understand, you're getting a bigger payout. How long does it take you to make $45,000 in the school year? How many hours do you have to work? Because for me, it only takes me about 80 hours to make $43,000. Because when I say 6 days, I'm talking about 3 hours on each day. 6 times 3 is 18 hours. This is what I want y'all to understand. Those 10 calls that I need to make are 1 hour a piece. So that's 10 hours plus 18 hours. That's 28 hours. And then I include my travel time and then my prep time. So for $43,000, I work 80 hours. Y'all work 200 days to make $50,000, $60,000. So the payout is worth it. So for those, she said, and then all your work is working multiple times over. Absolutely. Because then all I'm doing is I don't have to prep as much. I know exactly what I'm going to say. Y'all, I do the same PDs over and over again. And all I have to do is memorize the name of the school and customize by what they tell me, what they, like what their problem is. So I customize it in that way. She says, look at the former ELA making the math make sense. That's right, girl. We got to, because it's all about math in consulting. So for those of you who are ready, April 17th, we got the Consulting Success Academy coming up. Let me tell you, this is a work session. We're going to do 5 work sessions. We're going to create these assets. Y'all, we got to stop having the lead magnets and stuff that don't convert, that look crazy. You don't know what to send when they say send me information. You're sending stuff that don't make sense. You're sending stuff that's outdated. You're sending stuff that just is not right. It's not right. And I feel bad for you because you can't offer a 60. We just had somebody just last night. I don't know if any of my folks on here, she closed a 6-figure contract just yesterday. A 6-figure contract. But the only reason why she was even able to get a 6-figure contract is because she presented herself as an education company and not an ed consultant. See, I got to stop a lot of y'all from thinking and acting like an ed consultant. And I got to make you CEOs and founders and owners of an education company. That's the first big mishap that we got to correct. And so in the Consulting Success Academy, that's starting on April 17th, y'all better get signed up. Stop playing yourself. Stop being cheap. Stop not wanting to spend money. Stop thinking that you can do this on your own. If you could do it on your own, you would have already have done it. If you knew what was supposed to go in these documents and what assets you're supposed to have, that's not something that you can get on a live. Even when we tell you the components, it's a certain way that it has to look, the language that needs to be used, the clarity of the message. I was looking over somebody's work the other day. Nobody's hiring you with that. You complaining in your statement. You cannot be in there complaining. You can't talk about what you like. That's not what we're doing. You got to talk about results. We're not running over what we did in the school system. We don't care what you did in the school system. What are you an expert in? We don't want to know the 10 jobs you worked before now. That ain't what we talking about. All that stuff. We don't even use resumes in consulting. You said you're an expert. This is what you said. Tell me how you're an expert and let's make it happen. She said, April 17th is my birthday. Okay, happy early birthday, first of all. And make that your birthday present to yourself. I'm just saying, make that your present. I tell everybody, hey, I want to participate in this course that I need to participate in. Everybody, come on, get my money so I can pay for this course. The links are, it's a link on YouTube, not on YouTube. It's one on Facebook and in my bio. But we're going to work 5 sessions on Wednesday nights. We're going to work. You're going to have time to get things created. You're going to have the resources. You're going to have the templates. You're going to have the examples. There is nothing harder than trying to create something you don't know what you should be creating. You need a model for that. You need to be able to see it, and then you need to be able to put your twist on it. Or as my niece says, put your stank on it. You need to see it, what it should look like. It's no different than when I taught those of you who've been in my proposal writing class. I taught you not only how to write a proposal, but how to respond to any RFP, any request for a proposal. So I teach at a high level because I don't want to just teach you a template. I want you to understand what needs to go in it, why it needs to go in it, the ways that it needs to look, and get you to understand what you're representing in your brand. What is your brand saying? And can it command the amount of money that you want it to command? You can't come in talking about I'm a consultant, a one-man show, and we give you a 6-figure contract. The girl last night who got the 6-figure contract, she understands. She has an education company. She's standing in that. Some of y'all can't stop saying, I'm a consultant. You're not a consultant. What are you talking about? You got an education company. You have an education company. I'm the senior consultant at my educational company. So we got to first transform that. And then we have to make our things match what a company does, how a company represents itself, because you're not competing against other consultants. You're competing against other education companies. So the same money that you want is the same money that Hart Mifflin wants. It's the same money that Discovery Ed wants. It's the same money that ASCD wants. It's the same money that Leader in Me wants. It's the same money that Franklin Covey wants. Those are companies. But those companies have to do the same thing that you do. They have to send the same documents that you had to send. But do you have them? Do you even know what they are? She said, yes, I had to remove I. She said, I had to remove the letter I 37 times from my previous proposal and replace it with our team, our firm. And I believe that made the difference in them believing we could deliver. It absolutely does. Trust me when I say I have the experience. I have sat on all sides of the table. I've been on the board of education. I was a board member for 3 years. I worked at two major education companies, and then I consulted for one. I have the experience. A lot of these virtual things that you all participate with the one company, which is one of the oldest one of the oldest education companies. I redid all of their PDs when we went online for COVID. That was me by myself. It was only me. They paid me good. I ain't have to do nothing. Remember, all the schools were closed. They paid me to convert their in-person PDs to virtual PDs. Okay. So I know what to do. Then I got my own consulting company, and I have made good money consistently in my own consulting company. So I know what the proposal should look like. I know what they should sound like. And let's not be remiss the fact that I was a building principal and I paid for consulting. Like I paid for invoices. I set up POs. I had people come in to meet with me to bring their services to my school. I know what these things cost. I know what it looks like. I got the experience. But we run out here to these other business coaches who ain't never worked in the school system, who ain't never wrote a proposal, who ain't never had to try to get through the secretary to get to the principal. And they say crazy stuff to you like, oh, just get them on the phone. Just do a direct phone call. Y'all need to run from those people. We go and we get these men consultants, and we're women. I'm sorry, these men coaches. I ain't got nothing against men, baby. I love men. The world can't live without them. But when I say women operate differently than men, we have different hangups. We have different ways of thinking. And so you gonna go to this man who talks a good game, but men are providers and protectors. They have no problem taking a big risk. That's what they were bred to do. It's in their DNA. Just like in our DNA is to nurture people and to take care of people because we are mothers. We have a mothering spirit. Men have a spirit of protection and providing. So they will walk into danger. They will go and knock and ask and tell you all about their business. They will boast. They will tell. They are not afraid. Women, we stay in our heads. And then you go get a male business coach who just tells you, get out your head and make it happen. Well, you got to tell me how to get out of my head because I don't know how. I've been in my head for 45 years. What I'm supposed to do now? Tell me how to get out. They can't tell you how to get out of your head because they've never been in their head. That's not how they work. And so I want you to understand, get the support that you need from people who have the experience to be able to support you. Stop playing yourself. Stop going with the thing that has the most glitter. You know what? I ain't got no glitter. Let me tell you that. I got some truth for you. I got some honesty for you. I got some real skills for you. I got the things that you need. I got some transparency for you. I got some feedback for you. And I got some a little bit of motivation and inspiration to keep us going. I got some accountability for you. I got all the things that you need, but I ain't got none of that other stuff. I ain't got that fluff. I'm not going to make stuff up to tell you. That's right. Dr. D. Nicole said she was in my Discovery Ed session. That's how I know. And I'm the one who created that PD. They had some mess that wasn't right. We got trained by the best. That's right. She say a bunch of accountability. That's a part of our problem. We say we're going to do stuff and we don't do it. Get into this Consulting Success Academy. It starts on April 17th. I'm going to walk you through how to create your lead magnet. It's going to be a high quality lead magnet that converts. We like to use all these little fancy words and say crazy stuff and do stuff that rhymes. Don't nobody want to see that. Ain't nobody clicking that. And I'm going to let you know, okay, so we're going to give you some different words, and we're going to be with other people who are doing the same work. When people say, I want to learn more about your company, can you send me something in the email? Do you know what you're supposed to send them? There are 3 artifacts that you can send. I'm going to show you what it looks like. You're going to put it together online with me. You can share your screen when you're finished. We can take a look at it, and then we'll even provide resources for you to be able to get it designed appropriately if you're not a person who knows how to design on your own. And most teachers shouldn't be designing on their own because they've been working in the school system, and our understanding is flawed. So do the thing that you're strong in. Let somebody else do the other thing. Pay the little money that needs to be paid. It's not a lot of money. And then we overthink it and we think, I can't afford that. Stop saying that. Stop saying that. Stop making decisions based on your bank account. Stop saying that. If the Lord has given you this idea, he has given you the provisions to take care of it. But again, you got to take the action. You got to take the action. That's the reason why we don't do the things that we want to do. When I decided that I wanted to go to Aruba, I didn't know where that money was coming from, but guess what? I took the action. I made the down payment on the trip. I made the deposit. And then the Lord opened everything up for me. Made it the best birthday I'd ever had. I manifested that. I talked about it as if it was. Some of y'all need to be saying, I'm going to be in that course on the 17th. I'm going to make it happen. It's going to come to happen. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. All you got to do is keep saying it. And then take an action. Take an action. That's where the blessings come, because that's what shows the faith that you have. So we're going to use some content creation tools. We're going to use AI. We all need to be using AI. If you're not using ChatGPT, if you're not using Claude, if you're not using the Bing one, whichever one you use, that's what we're using. But again, ChatGPT does not have a soul and it does not have a personality. So it cannot give you something that's going to truly convert. Y'all think that stuff ChatGPT be giving you is good. It's not. And it's definitely not good on the first go round, because it can only give you the quality of what you give it. And so a lot of us, we give low quality input and it's going to give you low quality output. Some of you all are going to say, I have a lead magnet. Wasn't nobody clicking because it wasn't any good. Let's be honest. They're not clicking because it wasn't helpful. All right, Claudisha. All right. We're wrapping up anyway, girl. All right. Talk to you later. So let's make sure that we're doing the things that we need to do. I'm telling you, selling is easy. Your first contract is in your contacts. Let's do the things that I've talked with you about today. Let's go ahead and get signed up for the Consulting Success Academy that starts on April 17th, and come back here tomorrow. I got another live session for you tomorrow. So come on back tomorrow. I'm telling you, I'm going live every day. Check me out. You can catch all of the replays on YouTube, but join me live on YouTube so that I can get my numbers up. Subscribe, join me. I would really appreciate it. And when you close that contract, come back and say, Dr. D, I did what you said. I closed the contract. Thank you so much. That's all I'm asking you for. Come back and say that you made it happen. You got what you need. You got everything you need. Let's make it happen. Oh, she said, and don't forget to like. Y'all on YouTube, press that like button for me right quick. Press that like button for me so that YouTube can pick it up in the algorithm and begin to share it with other people. Press the like button. We should have 5, 10, 15 likes on there now. Come on, press that like button for me. All right, y'all. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Have a good rest of your day.